Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Red Brothers Pod. I'm Victor,
And I'm Alex.
and welcome to our pre-match preview for the Liverpool Bournemouth game. Before I jump into the video, I'd like to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Kingship Clothing. Very good quality and affordable clothing, won't burn a hole in your pocket, and it's nice all year round.
And make sure to use code REDBROTHERS to get 10% off.
So yeah, getting into the video, we're obviously going to be previewing the game that's happening on Saturday at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
So we're playing away to Bournemouth at the Vitality Ground, and it's going to be a tough game.
I mean, when you're looking at the fixture list from the start of the season, you're thinking Bournemouth, easy 3 points. We'd probably write that off as, an easy game, but fair play to them. Wow, amazing form recently. I mean, is it 11 games unbeaten?
Yeah.
And last week, 5-0 to Nottingham Forest. I mean, that is really impressive considering the run that Nottingham Forest is on. Because they are having an outstanding season themselves. So the fact that Bournemouth have been able to beat them 5-0, I mean, that is genuinely so impressive. So, yeah, I mean, it's not going to be an easy game like I thought it would be. And, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And, Bournemouth have been on a quality run of form recently. They're doing really well picking up points and obviously going unbeaten 11 games like you mentioned. And, what is really quite scary about them is just the star power they have. Cliver, Altara, even losing Solanke, and they're still able to find goals.
Yeah.
They've got Evan Nilsson, they've got, Unal. They've got all these different players that can chip in with goals. And, the last two games in the Premier League, if I'm not mistaken, were a win away at Newcastle. Was that 4-1? And then a 5-0 win at Nottingham at home to Forest, sorry. And obviously, if you correspond that to Liverpool, we drew 3-3 at Newcastle and lost to Forest at home 1-0.
Yeah.
So, that is definitely a point of concern for ourselves. But, I mean, just going into the stylistic sort of setup of the game, I think that, the way that Bournemouth want to play football does kind of suit us a bit more than a Nottingham Forest. They were able to find the answers to beat that low block of Forest. But, coming up against a team that's going to go right back at them, how do they handle that?
Yeah, I mean, Nottingham Forest was an issue for us because that low block didn't really, it was hard for us to break it, and obviously that resulted in, a loss at home and sharing the points. But I mean, maybe considering that Bournemouth had them figured out, we'll see, because obviously they broke the system. Maybe they just got lucky and figured out their system. Let's hope they don't figure out our system.
But,
how we do.
They can figure our system out, but, it's about having the right quality player on the team that even if they figure that system out, we're still able to get past them. And, they're going to be looking to attack us just as much as we attack them. And if we can get the better of them on the transitions and be clinical, it should be a 3 points for us. But, sometimes being clinical has been the problem for us and cost us some points. So, it's definitely something we're going to have to watch out for.
I mean, I do definitely agree, but I believe that we do have the quality of players required to make that difference. I mean, we've got an on-form Cody Gakpo. We've got a Salah who's amazing this season. We've got quality all around. Szoboszlai is now finally getting his form back, I reckon. I mean, all these players, especially after Trent's last performance, it's only positives, I reckon, based off last week against Ipswich. So, we'll have to see how that goes. But if they can carry on the performance and the individual quality from last week's Ipswich game, then I don't see a concern in this game. Of course, it won't be easy, but I think we'll be able to walk away with the 3 points.
And, let's just get into sort of like the starting 11 we'd like to see start. So I think we can both agree Alisson will be starting in goal. It'll be Trent at right back. Konate and Van Dijk in centre half. And then I guess that takes us on to our first debate.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Robbo or Tsimikas at left back?
Based off previous performances, I think Tsimikas must take it here. I think Robertson has been a bit poor this season. I think it's time to start giving Tsimikas more minutes as the season goes on. We saw it literally against PSV. Robertson, he didn't really have that sort of impact you'd thought he should. Maybe Tsimikas didn't as well, but I think his performance was better than Robertson's, and they were both on the field at the same time, which you don't see often or ever. I mean, I think Tsimikas must take it here. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you, and for most games this season, I would be of the same opinion. But my question is, will Slot have the same sort of thought process? Because this is something we've been saying for weeks. Yet Robbo still seems to get the nudge in the Premier League games.
I mean, I think the reason for that is his sheer experience he's got. Robertson has won many trophies. Robertson has done and achieved great things in his career. So I think that is probably the reason why he usually is the starting player. But I think Tsimikas, as of now, this maybe form-wise or ability-wise, maybe this season, I think Tsimikas takes it. So we'll have to see.
So moving on into the midfield, I think pretty self-explanatory. I'd go Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai.
Definitely. I mean, there's also a question depending what formation we play. We'll probably play a 4-2-3-1. Sometimes we play 4-3-3, which we see sometimes happen.
Yeah, but they're interchangeable. I mean,
yeah.
If we start in a 4-2-3-1, there'll be periods in the game where in a 4-3-3, and then we'll move back to that 4-2-3-1.
Yeah,
so
probably.
It just depends on the period of the game and how the game's going. So that it does give us that luxury on the slot that we can go between the two, and we're not strictly a 4-3-3 team like on the Klopp.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fact that McAllister and Gravenberch are doing so well and them holding positions allows Szoboszlai to do what he can do.
Well, they work so well as a double pivot. They complement each other, and every aspect that you need in midfielder, they've got it covered. And with Szoboszlai ahead of them, with his legs, and running power, that really does help, and it does feel like the complete midfield. So we'll see how it is.
And
they match up versus that Bournemouth
and
midfield.
I mean the pure figure on Gravenberch and his physicality complements the way that McAllister can play that ball out. So, I mean, like you said, complement each other great. Szoboszlai ahead of them, I think he does. He could be a bit better maybe sometimes this season, but I think based off last week's performance, I think I'm very excited to see how he works again. Hope he has another good performances. Hope his ending product is great like it was last week. We'll see, but
we will. And on the right, stupid question. It's going to be Mo Salah,
of course.
And on the left, it's probably going to be Gakpo.
See, this is now another debate because. Now, do we start Núñez at number 9 and leave Diaz on the left?
So, I think Diaz starts this game simply because him being able to pull those centre-backs out of position might be the key for letting us unlock that defence.
Yeah.
And obviously you still have that option of Núñez off the bench, and then you've got Gakpo on the left, who's currently on fire.
Yeah.
To make that impact. So I do think that I do think it'll be Diaz in the 9 and Gakpo on the left.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, I think sometimes Diaz can struggle, but I think maybe against Bournemouth...
Diaz mainly struggles against lower block sides.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Bournemouth aren't going to be that. So, it's about matching the right skill set for the right match. And I think that picking Diaz for this one would be picking the right...
Yeah, I mean, his dribbling, ball control, everything... I mean, I think it might work in this game. We'll have to see. I mean, nothing's for definite, but obviously against a low block, he struggles to get the ball. He struggles to really, use his physicality against these teams
and find space really, because in a low block, if he drifts off wide to create space in the middle, the centre back will just not follow him, let him go into that space, and because they're so far back, the midfielder's going to be close enough to be able to, apply pressure to him. So in these games like this, where it allows a lot more space, a defender making that split-second decision to follow Diaz into a bit of space can be what allows us to get that space in behind for Gakpo or Salah and, run in onto their stronger foot and finish. So I do think he could be one to watch out for this game. This could be a good Luis Diaz game ahead of us.
Yeah, I agree, and I would love to see it. I would love to see him surprise us, with a hat trick. That would be great, and I
Yeah,
hope.
like the Leverkusen
Yeah,
game.
and maybe it'll be a similar story to that Leverkusen game. I mean, we'll have to see, and I hope it is a great performance because him being able to play in that 9 role is very beneficial for our team, I believe, because it allows Gakpo to shine off the left, and if Luis Diaz fully settles at this number 9 role, I mean, we'll have a world-class left wing, world-class striker playing as in their natural positions if it becomes natural to Luis Diaz. So I think that'd be great.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, having that flexibility of being able to put him in sort of different positions
Yeah.
and really get the most out of them in different areas is definitely key for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Harvey Elliott get that shout off the bench. However, I would love to see him come on and have an impact. Maybe because obviously it is a difficult away game, so
I'll definitely see Elliot getting some minutes this game.
So I think maybe if we are struggling, Elliot will be able to come onto the pitch and make a difference, and I hope that will be able to happen because the way he can control the game in a matter of minutes with his risk taking, he might just be able to come onto the pitch and score, assist, anything.
I've got a good question for you. Who's your key concern in terms of Bournemouth going into this game?
Ooh, see, now that's a good question. I think
It's got to be Justin Kluivert scoring a hat trick against Newcastle.
Yeah,
getting involved in goals in the Forest game. He is turning out to be quite the player, really, and you wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, this season is really showing his quality. Like you said, that hat trick, I think, he might be a danger. I'm just hoping that we just don't give him the space and the time to show off his finishing.
But, we can be very prone to allowing forwards to have a bit too much time. But, I mean, I do think that this will be a very tough game, but I do also see it being an entertaining game. So I think that does take us right onto our score predictions.
Ooh.
So what do you think the score will be on Saturday?
Ooh, see, now I'm thinking this can go 2 ways. This can be a high-scoring game where it could be a 3-2, maybe more than that. But however, also if we play how Schlott usually wants us to play, have control over the match, we could just seal 2-0 victory. So I reckon it's either one of the two, 3-2 or 2-0. I don't think there can be anything in between.
Okay, so I'll throw a bit of a spanner in the mix.
Right.
I'll go for like a 4-3 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
I see Bournemouth taking the lead early. I see us going back in front at 2-1. I see them bringing it back to 2-2, and then us scoring 2 and them scoring late and making it nerve-wracking for us. I mean, so that's how I see the game going.
I mean, could we see Nunes come on and do what Nunes does? Could we?
Maybe. That would be great.
That would be amazing.
To be fair, I would prefer it maybe a little bit more if it was Chiesa that came on and got the winner.
You know what? I agree. I think Nunes got his shine last week. I think maybe it's time for Chiesa to have the spotlight.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that's about everything for this pre-match preview for the Bournemouth game.
I think that wraps up the video, yeah.
So thank you everyone for tuning into another episode of the Red Brothers Pod, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.